political analyst, is also now joining us. Thank you for your time. What next for O Pannerselvam, given the setback from the Madras High Court? This certainly isn't going to be smooth sailing for EPS, even though the court has given him a green signal, essentially.
What we are witnessing, and I can understand the excitement from a national channel on the happenings of a regional party, because for the first time we are seeing something like this happening, where the leadership is no longer arrived at backroom consensus, but is played in full public glare, and it is fought out with a bitterness of all democratic parties. So we must congratulate the AIADMK. It is not a family party. It is not a dynastic party. And whatever is happening is in the healthiest tradition of democracy. So let us celebrate this moment of democracy. I am not an AIADMK supporter by any chance. But what I am saying is that this is something new in modern Indian history, political history. And this is something that we need to cherish and celebrate. Now, coming back to personalities, yes, at this point in time, EPS seems to have a complete edge. He seems to be in a very advantageous position. OPS is definitely in the back foot and is not able to marshal enough number of people. His body language, his approach to the court, his arguments before the judges are very clear that he doesn't have enough strength. He is unable to muster enough strength. That means that EPS will definitely take over the party. Then comes the Sasikala equation. Sasikala was force multiplier. I always held that Sasikala is a force multiplier. She is not a force by herself. She requires a Jayalalithaa. She requires somebody on whom a trust can be placed, and she will be a force multiplier using backroom machinations, her vast understanding of the bureaucracy, judiciary, media, so on and so forth. But today she is a diminished force. 10 years has elapsed. She is no longer in power. DMK is in power. EPS and OPS, definitely what will unite them is the fear that Sasikala would come back. So definitely it is not going to be easy for Sasikala to also come back. So at this point in time, it looks like game, set and match for EPS. EPS will definitely take over the party. But what will happen at the polls, what will happen at the elections, that's a different story. That is something that we'll have to wait and see.
You know, I also want to know that there is in fact a suggestion, and that is coming from several other journalists as well, who are saying that the cadre are supporting O Pannerselvam largely for many years, seen as somebody who had the blessings of J Jayalalithaa as always, and he is truly the political heir. What does this really mean for EPS if the cadre and by and large these workers of the party are with OPS?
There is very little of journalists, and all of them are usually party men disguised as journalists. So I wouldn't give that credence to it. And it is being said in full public glare. See, this voting is going to happen in full public glare when the nominated, whatever is the council or executive committee, whatever is that of the AIADMK, is going to vote. Now, how are you going to come back and say this is the cadre wants OPS, but this is the APS being his trust? Can you say the same thing about, say, the DMK or the JDS? No, you can't say this. This is happening in full public glare. This is happening with votes being counted, with observers being there and courts interfering. Where else you have this type of democracy? Come on, these journalists are people who are opining what they want. Probably they want the AIADMK to be weakened.
Okay, that's a separate issue. Mr. Venkatesh, I also want to ask you, does it look extremely probable now that sooner rather than later, EPS is going to be crowned? In that sense that there is going to be a resolution that he is the supreme leader of the party. How soon might that happen?
By this afternoon.
Oh, by this afternoon.
Why should?
Okay.
Yeah, why not? Why not by this afternoon if the resolutions are passed and the AIADMK decides on a unified singular leader, EPS can be crowned. And remember, he did steer the state for around 3 years in the absence of post the death of Jayalalithaa. So definitely there is a huge powerful force and lobby that is working for him. And there is a huge powerful force that is working against him. And that is why I said that the journalist views cannot be taken as very seriously.